is a great scene. The setup, the cool plane, the one long continuous shot of Tom Cruise jumping out of said plane, but for all of the skydive sequence's glory, the bathroom fight, just 4 minutes later, steals the show. The bathroom scene in Mission Impossible Fallout is by far the series' best fight scene. This 6-minute and 43-second sequence propels the film into Act 2, solidifying relationships between central characters and reintroducing old friends, all while serving up some of the best hand-to-hand combat since Jackie Chan. And it does all this through 3 simple techniques: editing, progression through problem solving, and characterization through choreography. Today, we're going to look at why this scene is so great and what filmmakers can learn from this scene to make their own movies better. First, the editing. The clarity achieved in the edit is unmatched in modern fight scenes. Every shot in the bathroom scene gives the audience all the information they need without any distracting cuts or shaky camera movements. The camera follows the action, whether in a crowded bathroom stall, going through a mirror, or around corners. This style of shooting allows for the performances of the actors, which are excellent, to shine through. For every punch the Bourne movie's camera shakes and Marvel cuts 3 times, this film slows down, letting the action speak for itself. This style of camera movement is backed up by the superb editing, put together by editor Eddie Hamilton, which uses smooth cuts to keep the action flowing, while simultaneously keeping you grounded in the geometry of the space. Despite the average shot length of this sequence being just 1.8 seconds, the edit flows so well that it doesn't feel rushed or confusing. While other films might get lost in a set like this, with white walls and mirrors everywhere, Hamilton keeps us right where we need to be to understand where we are, despite a complete disregard for the 180-degree rule. This double cut is especially brilliant, showing us Walker's brutal punch combination twice, from 2 different angles, makes the hits land harder than they would if we had simply cut away. To illustrate what I'm talking about, here's my cut without the double cut. And the film the way it was originally edited. Without the double cut, we lose the strength that Henry Cavill conveys. The combination flies by without making any impact. With the double cut, however, the combination feels larger than life and the hits feel much more powerful. But it's not just the editing that makes this scene flow so well. The best editor in the world can't fix fundamental pacing issues. That starts in the script. Progression through problem solving pushes the scene forward relentlessly, both within the scene and for the movie as a whole. If we break this scene down to its component parts, we find a series of problems and solutions. For example, a random guy gets in the way, so Ethan waits for him to leave. Ethan loses the needle, so Walker smashes Lark with the case. Some guys come into the bathroom, so Ethan and Walker pull Lark into the stall. The gun drops, so Lark scrambles for it later. Lark gets the pipe, so Ethan has to fight for his life, and Walker has to help. Ethan sees Walker coming, so he gets out of the way. Ethan realizes he can't beat Lark hand-to-hand, so he tackles him. Lark grabs the gun, and Ilsa shoots him. This scene uses the classic setup and payoff method of storytelling to push itself where the film needs it to go. This keeps the scene flowing and elevates this beyond, here's 2 guys fighting another guy. Because of the setup both before this scene and within, every action is amplified, keeping the audience actively engaged in the outcome of the fight itself. This is one of the hallmarks of the Christopher McQuarrie mission movies. Setup and payoff keeps audiences engaged in scenes that would otherwise be seen as gratuitous. But the setup and payoff goes far beyond simple actions and reactions. This scene is actually important to the rest of the movie as a whole. This scene solves the problem of finding John Lark. It breaks the mask machine, which forces Ethan to assume Lark's identity, the problem that drives Act 2 of the film. We are introduced to Ilsa, who solves Ethan's problem in this scene, but later becomes a problem throughout Act 2. It also establishes Lark's phone as a plot device to be used later, all in under 7 minutes. You'd be hard-pressed to find another fight scene that does so much in so little time. Finally, the most important aspect of this scene's greatness: characterization through choreography. In the commentary for Avengers Endgame with the Russo brothers, Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely, they talk about the importance of character when it comes to lines. They say,
you should be able, in a good script, you should be able to pick out a line, not tell me who said it, but I should be able to guess who said it based on diction.
And if you find yourself having a character say something that anybody in the room could have said, then it's time to go back to the drawing board and figure that out again.
The mission crew takes this advice to heart, going beyond lines and into action choreography. There's thousands of ways to throw a punch, but the fighting in the bathroom scene is specific to each character. Ethan's fighting style represents who he is: quick, efficient, goal-oriented, and scrappy, like the scalpel he was described as earlier in the film. Compare this to Walker, who smashes his way through every problem, from hitting Lark with the mask machine, throwing him through the mirror, or reloading his biceps. He is strong and brutal, just like a hammer. Lark is like Liang Yang, a badass. There's nothing more to say, really. He's a badass in real life, and he's a badass here. Ilsa, while not a huge part of the fight, shows her true colors. Willing to kill to achieve her goals, something we've seen in previous mission films and will see again in this one. This careful choreography is what brings this scene together. It elevates it from a fistfight we've seen 1,000 times to something that not only pushes the story forward, but also solidifies our understanding of the main characters, their motivations, and their mode of operation. So what can we take away from all of this? If you wanted to go and shoot a great fight scene tomorrow, what do you need to do? First, give your characters a reason for being there. Whether they're spies tracking down a target or just in the wrong place at the wrong time, give your characters a strong motivation to be where the fight is taking place. Then, keep your characters' actions in line with their motivations. Every character fights differently, so keep their choreography in line with their character. Finally, keep your editing clean, your camera steady, and let the performances of your actors shine. After all, they're the ones who sell the scene. And who knows, maybe I'll be raving about your fight scene next. So thank you guys so much for watching this breakdown. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. It helps me sleep better at night. Also, if you have any thoughts on the bathroom scene, any other scene I should look at in the future, leave a comment below.